Have you heard about the latest changes in childcare regulations in England? Ofsted have recently opened up a new registration option, introducing a unique category for childminders who don't work from home. Whether you're a current provider or just curious about the industry, here's everything you need to know about this new pathway called Childminders on non-domestic premises and what it means for the future of childcare. But before we get into all of that, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel Open Nursery with myself, Kurt Lianya, where I support you to open, run and grow your own childcare business. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe as I post regular videos all around topical childcare, from the difference between a childminder and a nursery to what is safeguarding. There's lots here on the channel to support you no matter what your childcare goals are. But in response to evolving needs of childcare providers and parents, Ofsted have announced some important updates for childminders. These changes include a provider type that allows for more flexibility in where childcare can be offered. One of the key additions is the option for childminders on non-domestic premises, a pathway that broadens the options beyond the traditional home setting. This shift may open doors for both childcare professionals and parents seeking alternative childcare options. But let's dive into what this means, who it affects, and how it works. So what is this new childcare registration option? Ofsted's new registration option is designed for childminder setups outside the usual home environment. With the introduction of this new provider type, childminders now have more flexibility to deliver services in places other than their residence, potentially benefiting both providers and their families. This new category is aimed at meeting modern demands, where traditional home-based childminding may not always be the best fit for both parents and providers. Essentially, it allows for childcare to be delivered on non-domestic premises without being classified as a full daycare centre. So who does this apply to? This option is tailored for childminders who prefer not to work from home or who need a non-domestic setting for practical reasons. For example, if a childminder plans to operate from a school, office or community centre, then this registration type is ideal. Though unlike traditional childminders, these providers must comply with additional criteria specific to non-domestic premises. Safety and inspection requirements remain rigorous to ensure the quality of care. Providers will also need to make sure that the space meets all the safety, health and welfare standards required by Ofsted. The childminders registered under this registration will have to work with smaller groups compared to traditional daycare providers or nurseries. This distinction is part of maintaining the childminder's focus on personalised care, even in a non-domestic setting. The registration process and what to expect. Those looking to register as a childminder on non-domestic premises will need to complete a specific registration process, which includes background checks and premises inspections. These requirements are intended to maintain a high standard across all childcare settings. After registration, these childminders will be subject to routine inspections to ensure their compliance. Inspections will focus on safeguarding the suitability of the space and adherence to childcare ratios so that consistent, safe care environments are provided. In order to register, first, providers need to submit an application, undergo necessary checks like a DBS check, and demonstrate that their chosen premises meets the criteria for safety, cleanliness, and accessibility. Ofsted outlines these details in their guidance, which is aimed at helping potential childminders understand the steps and expectations. Some benefits of these new options is that it creates more flexibility, particularly for those who may not want to or can't use their home for childminding. It also allows providers to serve families in more centralised areas, potentially closer to workplaces or schools, making it more convenient for parents. Though some challenges include that with the added flexibility comes additional responsibilities. Operating outside the home means navigating regulations on non-domestic premises, such as health and safety assessments. Childminders will need to handle logistical considerations, such as ensuring facilities have appropriate resources and meet Ofsted standards for inspections. So how can this potentially impact the childcare industry? This registration option acknowledges the shifting demands of the childcare industry, where parents and providers alike seek greater adaptability. This option was undoubtedly introduced to hopefully increase the number of childcare providers that are available. So it's hopeful that it will lead to more childminders registering, as some end up leaving the field either because they move homes and their new home is not suitable, or simply because they want their home back. However, meeting these new additional requirements for childminders may pose a learning curve for some providers, especially those transitioning from traditional home-based setups. What does this mean for parents and families? For parents, this registration type could mean easy access to childcare in more convenient locations. Instead of arranging drop-ups and pick-ups at a childminder's home, families might have more options closer to their daily routines, such as near workplaces or schools. Even with these changes, Ofsted will ensure that standards remain high. Inspections will be carried out to make sure that all childcare settings, whether domestic or non-domestic, maintain the same level of safety and quality. The parents will now have a broader range of childcare options, especially if they prefer a setting that isn't a traditional home environment. This could be particularly appealing for families in urban areas or those looking for childcare providers who can offer a more adaptable environment. Ofsted's new registration pathway is a step towards modernising childcare options in England, accommodating a wider range of needs for both providers and families. For childcare professionals, these changes open up new possibilities, though they come with additional responsibilities to meet certain standards and requirements. For parents, this can mean greater convenience and variety of options when choosing childcare. If you're a childcare provider considering this route, be sure to review Ofsted guidance carefully to understand the requirements for registration. This new pathway could reshape the landscape for childcare, offering more adaptable, practical solutions for everyone involved. So if you found this video useful, don't forget to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Just share it with anyone who you think could benefit from hearing about this new childcare option. On the screen now is a video that YouTube thinks you'll find useful, so head over there to continue learning. I'll see you over there. God bless.